Hey, happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Taylor Cox, and we have a busy forecast with fire out to the west. We have that winter weather that's expected anywhere from today all the way through Sunday. So we have a very long time to be talking about this winter storm, but let's start there. So today, that winter storm developing, going to start late tonight and into Thursday. We've got a mixed bag of winter weather. We're including freezing rain as well as sleet and snow in this. There's that extreme fire weather out to the west. We have the potential for wind speeds, wind gusts over 100 miles an hour. And then, of course, we've got some light snow across the Rockies and into the Midwest. So we're not the only ones getting snow here. We do have that winter storm, but we could also see some snow across the Midwest. All righty, let's talk about our Raising Hail Tour. Okay, if you guys have not already bought your tickets for this, what are you waiting for? Only the first 50 people get to use this exclusive access code. So because you're watching the live forecast today, you have a chance to save $10 on your tickets to our Raising Hail Tour. With this $10 off, your ticket is now $15. And for that $15, you not only get a free lunch, a t-shirt, but also a chance to win a Yeti with a bunch of cool swag involved, and then of course the tour itself. So this event includes great speakers from across the industry. We have Merlin Law, we have Atlas there as well. We're going to also include the forecast that our CEO, Derek Klein, does every single year. We were actually going through to see the accuracy of his forecast last year. Very, very accurate. So use this code RHT Taylor 10, RHT standing for Raising Hail Tour, TAYLOR 10 to save $10 off of that Raising Hail Tour ticket. Another giveaway here because you're watching the live forecast today. We have a Thunder basketball giveaway, Thunder basketball game. We're not giving away basketball here, but tickets to the game itself. January 16th is the game. How do you win? You are entered to win these tickets, 2 tickets here in the club level. Comment and tag a friend during this live video. Winners will be announced this Friday. Thunder basketball game. It's a fun one, and we are right now on a 15-game winning streak, the best we've ever seen in the franchise. So you definitely don't want to miss this season, and this is a way to get free tickets to the game. All right, let's talk about what we saw yesterday. We saw some light snow across Colorado yesterday. We also saw some light snow out to the east. This didn't accumulate to a ton, just a dusting or maybe 2 to 3 inches across some portions of Colorado. We're still watching for that lake effect snow going into Ohio, Pennsylvania, and into New York. Other than that, and some mountain snow here and there. We've got some mountain snow up into Montana. We've been pretty quiet. This is what I like to call the calm before the storm, because we do have several areas that we're watching for greater snowfall totals in the next 24 hours. Pretty cold right now as well, below average temperatures highlighted in blue and purple. Not too much changing over the next 24 hours, except for we get a little bit of warm air moving through the northern portion of the U.S. So we're not saying warm here, but we're saying warmer than what we saw yesterday, or today rather. We've got a high pressure system setting up right now, but are you ready for all of that snow that's moving our way? We've already got some snow showers out in southern New Mexico. That is slowly going to move up to Texas, Oklahoma, and then track off to the east. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's talk about our temperatures first. 31, just sitting below that freezing mark here in Oklahoma City. A little bit above freezing out in Dallas. Still holding on to those cold temperatures in Kansas City at 15 degrees. Now let's talk about that fire weather out to the west. We're going to take a break from all of that cold weather, take you out to the west into Southern California here. This is actually impacting a ton of people. We have a wind advisory highlighted here in tan, and that high wind warning highlighted in gold. Some of the things that we could see here is 100-mile-per-hour wind gusts, very, very, very strong wind here. What we were seeing from the National Weather Service is that their wording is very, very intense. They have deemed this a particularly dangerous situation And if you are in the plains, you know of a PDS tornado watch. This is the same thing but for fire. So it's a PDS fire situation. We have an extreme fire outlook right over Los Angeles, a very, very populated area, and we've already seen fires today that have totally ravaged this area. So we are, I think it was Hollywood Hills that I saw some just extreme video from. So that's something that we're watching for today. These high winds and extreme low humidity and dry conditions already is going to aid in that fire development today. Tomorrow, finally seeing some relief as we head into the end of the work week and this weekend, but still that risk is going to be there. Off to the west now. Now we're getting back into that snow forecast. We have a winter weather advisory for some light snow across Montana, and then that snow that's ongoing down in the southern side of New Mexico. Right here, this is the big story, right? Winter storm warning goes until Friday, anywhere from Dallas all the way out to the central or eastern portion of Arkansas. Where are we going to get the heaviest snow? We'll talk about this here in just a few minutes, but it's right in between this Oklahoma, Texas, and Arkansas corridor right here. We also have a winter storm watch in effect as you go a little bit farther out to the east, and that'll get into Tennessee, Kentucky, and the northern side of Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. Now look at this. Take a look at how long this winter storm warning, or excuse me, just winter weather alerts stretches. All the way from the central portion of Texas all the way up to Kentucky. And you'll have to excuse me while I get a sip of water here. But look at that. That's over 1,000 miles of winter weather alerts, and more likely to be added to that, even more stretch up into the Virginias already, and we're going to see even more snow over the next few days. All right, I got my sip of water here. You know, whenever you talk for as much as I do, sometimes you need a little water break. We've also got some cold weather down into Florida and the southern side of Georgia here. Freeze watch in effect for temperatures as low as 30 degrees and a freeze warning highlighted here in purple for temperatures down into the 20s. So yes, we're going to see some cold weather up there. There's other winter alerts going on right now for some lake effect snow, anywhere from Pennsylvania up to New York and even into our New England states. So there's your winter weather advisory that goes through Thursday. Alrighty, what about severe weather? Well, we've got fire weather, we've got snow, no severe weather. No significant hail expected here. Over the last 24 hours, we haven't seen too much snow here. Your 24-hour snowfall totals, not terribly impressive. I talked about a dusting out in the northern plains. Not a ton, maybe in some mountainous regions through our New England states. Other than that, we do still have some snow on the ground from our last event. Look at your snow depth right now. We still have snow across Kansas City. Okay, snow is still sitting on the ground in Kansas City, keeping them cold. You saw their temperatures in the teens earlier. St. Louis also still has some snow on the ground. We have a corridor here that stretches from really the central portion of the U.S., but Kansas all the way out to the Virginias that have a good amount of snow. And then they're going to get hit again. You know, they got hit this weekend. They're going to get hit with another round of storms, anywhere from St. Louis all the way out to Cincinnati and into the Virginias with this next round of winter weather. So let's talk about it. I know that's why a lot of people jumped on here today. Let's go up to the north first, and then we'll go down to the south. Okay, there's your light dusting. We're not expecting too much in terms of snowfall totals here, anywhere from about 1 to 3 inches. Heading farther down to the south, we are expecting more snow. Okay, starting out as rain. Here's your timeline. Starting out as rain in West Texas by Wednesday afternoon. This will turn into snow as temperatures drop into the overnight hours tonight into tomorrow morning. Still a Texas system, Texas and New Mexico. As we head into Thursday morning, here's where it gets tricky for Dallas. We're going to see that morning commute pretty wet at least, if not wintry. Okay, let me say that one more time. Wet with rain at least, if not with that winter weather. Let's zoom back in, let's talk about it. So there's your morning commute. You're starting to see that changeover from rain to freezing rain, maybe some sleet in there. We've got snow trying to mix in some areas. The farther north you go, the more likely you are to be in that snow. But even for Oklahoma City, your Thursday morning commute could also be a tricky one, especially if you have a later commute. If you go in around 6 o'clock in the morning, you're probably going to be fine. If you're a little bit later in the morning, you're going to have to watch out for that sleet. Of course, your lunchtime, it's going to be snowing as we go throughout the day, and as you head back home in both Oklahoma City and in Dallas, it's going to be very, very tricky travel. So make sure that you have a good route home. No bridges, no overpasses. Be very, very aware of those slick spots. We'll talk about snowfall totals here in just a few minutes. Let's continue to see the snow spread across the northern side of Arkansas, southern Missouri, St. Louis. We're expecting snow to come in Thursday after the sun goes down, all the way through Friday. Very similar forecast for Memphis as well. Cincinnati, by Friday morning, you're seeing snow in your area. Atlanta, this is something that I want to talk about in just a minute. Better chances for ice down in Atlanta. Into the northern portion of Georgia, that is where we're watching for that ice potential in a few days. So we're talking about late Friday into Saturday for that ice potential. But this continues. This stretches all the way out to our New England states as we head into the weekend. Here we are Saturday and Sunday. It's still snowing out on the East Coast. Now let's talk about snowfall totals here. Your snowfall accumulation is going to look most promising in the southeastern side of Oklahoma, all the way down to the northern side of Texas, and even into central Arkansas for some. Let's talk about some of our big cities here. What are we talking about for snowfall totals in Oklahoma City? Well, that snow, as I mentioned, starts during the later commute on Thursday. We're talking between about 6, 9 o'clock in the morning and then continuing through lunchtime. Some models, each line here represents a different model, outlier, that may be getting some bad information or not factoring some other things in. So we go through, and if you look at the average here, you're looking about 2 inches here. So we've got some that want to bring in 3.5 inches. We've got others that only want to bring in 1 inch of snow. But if you look right in the average, you're talking about 2 to 2.5 inches. So that's why you sometimes get a range of 1 to 3 inches here in Oklahoma City. Let's head down to Texas. Let's talk about Dallas now. Ooh, lots more snow in Dallas. Okay, what's our highest here? Ooh, some models want to bring in 10 inches of snow. Now that's what you look at as a meteorologist and you say, that's a little bit of an outlier, right? What is your average in Dallas? About 4.5 inches of snow here. So there's where you get your range. So we could say about 2 to 6 inches is what most models are saying for snowfall totals in Dallas. That's some inside baseball to what we look at as meteorologists. We don't just look at colors on the map, but we have a lot more that we can check out. Okay, but let's continue. Let's head into Little Rock, looking at some really good snowfall totals in Little Rock. Heading into Memphis now, snowfall totals go down a little bit, but then we see them pick back up as we head into the northern side of Tennessee, and all models have really wanted to bring in some good snowfall totals into West Virginia. I think this is a mountainous region, so of course that area is going to get more snow. Very used to that up there. What about ice? Okay, you can drive on snow. You can't drive on ice. This is going to be the thing that causes the power outages, that makes the bridges really slick, right? This is going to be centered more into Dallas, but really into this Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, where all the state lines touch here, the corners right here. So this is where you're going to see the best chances for ice. At least 1/10 of an inch in some places. You could get locally higher amounts in others. Tracking to the east, not terribly worried about ice across Mississippi, but we see that ice chance pick back up through the central portion of Alabama and into Georgia. Now for several days, we have had this chance for ice increase once we get to Atlanta. So that's what I wanted to talk about earlier. That freezing line starts to change over right along I-20, and that's why we're getting all of this freezing rain and ice in this area. It could be very dangerous for your travel anywhere from central Alabama all the way out to Georgia on Friday and Saturday. Those are your 2 biggest hazardous days here. So I think, and we're going to go back up to the east now, still seeing that ice risk all the way up to the east here into the Carolinas. So I think where we're going now, oh, here's your ice risk. Okay, so this is your chances. Another thing that we can look at as meteorologists is not only totals, but the chance to get those totals. The highest risk to see those high ice totals is right in that corridor that I mentioned, in between the northeastern side of Texas into Arkansas and into Louisiana, and then also right over Atlanta. So those are things that we're watching here. 2 areas that I'm watching for ice, right here into Atlanta. Now we're going to talk about, I'm going to overlay your snow and your ice, snow highlighted in blue, ice highlighted in pink and purple. You can see that change over where that freezing line changes from snow to freezing rain to rain down to the south. So that's what we're watching for right in here, southeastern Oklahoma, northeastern Texas, the northwestern side of Louisiana, and most of Arkansas, but especially to Little Rock and to the south, right along I-40 into the south there. That's what we're watching for, the heaviest snowfall and the greatest ice totals. This is going to be the area of biggest impact. Continuing to the east, another area of big impact, not as much, but still a pretty decent impact, anywhere from Tennessee down to the northern side of Georgia. Other places are going to get snow, about 1 to 2 inches in the southern side of Illinois, all the way through the Midwest. So, I mean, obviously the greatest impact will be down to the south, but we're still going to see some of that winter weather as we head farther up to the north and east. All right, there's your winter weather. If you guys have any questions, put them in the chat. I'm pretty good about going back after the forecast and taking a look at that chat and seeing if I can answer any more questions. Future temperatures here, how cold will it get? Funny enough, we are actually kind of on a warm-up. I talked about that warm-up with that warm air coming down from the north, or warmer air. So we're basically going from the single digits to the 30s in Bismarck. That's a warm-up. Temperatures in Oklahoma City are actually going to stay right around freezing. We sit right between about 31 and 35 over the next 5 days. Temperatures are finally warming back up to the 40s by the late portion of the weekend, if not early next week, and we're still pretty cold out to the east. So if we look into the middle of January, it'll be still pretty cold out to the east. Temperatures are below average anywhere from Atlanta all the way to Washington, and we stay pretty dry as well. So we'll see what type of snow, what type of rain we could get as we head into the middle of January here. But there's your extended outlook, there's your forecast. Put your questions and your comments in the comments section, and we can get to those after the forecast. If you're looking for any severe weather maps, talking about wind, hail, or tornado maps, give us a call at 855-334-4245. Email us at info@hailtrace.com, or head over to our website. Not only do we have our maps on our website, but more information about reports, and we have a great blog that you can read. If you're a weather enthusiast like us, you're going to love this blog. Head over to our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok pages. We're great about updating our social media, so give us a follow over there or wherever you're watching from today. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you back here with those winter weather updates. Same time, same place tomorrow.